that one.
Shalom.
Right, I got so carried away there telling you about the lovely landlady and landlord of the Doncaster Brewery Tap that I'd forgotten that the time was running out on our rather tight Yorkshire bar stewards Zoom meeting. So anyway, we're back. We've come back to part two. So we will carry on where we set off. So we were just ensconced in the Sunday buffet at the Doncaster Brewery Tap. Again, I don't think this opens every day of the week, if I remember rightly. And again, I am guessing that their hours are fairly limited in the evening. Although I say they do have quite a funky keg bar upstairs, which they, again, I think they said is a Friday, Saturday night job, isn't it, Nick? I think I remember rightly. And I was just telling you that the man going to the toilet there underneath the electronic beer board is actually also going to walk past the brewery. So the brewery is actually just around the back of the bar. So definitely worth a trip in. We had a good chat with some of the locals in there. Again, we were kind of contemplating. I think we ended up staying a bit longer than we thought we would, and we probably ended. I think we had one beer left to get in before the train, and so again, a couple of the locals suggested where we might want to go. Again, not everybody was drinking beer in there. Some people were drinking wines and other bits and pieces, so it's quite an eclectic. The Sunday buffet seemed to work.
Wonder why you don't see the beers anywhere.
Yeah, I
wonder why you don't see the beers anywhere.
I just wonder whether they can sell most of it through their tap, and that what they obviously were both hands on because they were both there, so obviously they love being in there. And I think why flog yourself driving a bloody van around everywhere, dropping beer off when you can make a living from what you're doing here. They have beer festivals. It seems to be they have a jazz night, a quiz night. So yeah, fair dues. But the beer, Nick, I think the beer was all right, wasn't it? Beer was quite nice. I'd certainly.
Yeah, I think problem was like you say, we got two paddles of 6 beers, and I think we got them around the wrong way. So
yeah,
I remember there's a really strong one in there, and what we thought was a strong one, in fact, probably wasn't.
Yeah, yeah.
But then we both narrowed it down. The one that we both liked the best. I can't remember which that was one of their session pales, I think. So
it was
we ended up having
one.
another pint of that each, didn't we?
Yeah, and that's the one that she said that's their best
right,
seller.
Yeah.
Again, all of their beers have a Doncaster link, so they're named after either one's named after a car that was built there. There's some aviation links. So one's called Aviator because again, Doncaster was a very early centre.
But there was definitely some difference between them all.
Yeah,
I mean, I remember when we went to the Kirby Lonsdale Brewery and got a similar setup, and all their beers were very similar, weren't they?
Yeah.
Whereas here, there was some, significant contrast, really. So if you like your different styles, certainly it's a good tap to go to. And trying it like we did, having 6 halves there, it was all right. But no, there's some serious drinks in there, not as in alcoholics, but people who you can see, that's the only place to go to. They enjoy their beer, and even sort of blokes sat in their own sort of thing. You could tell that they were part of the furniture sort of thing, and it was a place that they could go and they could engage in conversation if somebody else was up for it, but at the same time they could sit there and just enjoy the beer all afternoon.
Yeah, and Dystopia is the bar upstairs, and as you can see there again, they had bottles in the back there, so you can see Erdangers and Belgian beer. So again, it was a very beery place. Again, they had some kegs on, keg beer on as well, and lots of cider. They also specialize in cider as well. So very very nice. Definitely worth a visit if you're in Doncaster. Probably about 8 minutes from the station, Nick. I think I just dropped out there. Are we back? We're back in the land of Tinterweb.
Hell yeah.
It's you're breaking up, Michael.
Are you back? Are we back?
Well, hopefully Michael will be back with us very shortly. Oh, yes, great.
I'm back now. So I got to. They also do specialize in cider as well, which again I think particularly the landlady is a cider lover.
Oh, hello. Are you back?
Lots
Excellent.
of fun in. Don't know what's going on with them. Well, I do know what's going on. I've got 2 bloody children. Well, big children who are probably whatever they're doing.
It's because you're broadcasting in Nelly's. That's the problem.
Yeah, I know.
And that roof wants some bloody plaster in it.
Actually,
Uh,
I might get rid of Nelly, so let me come off of that again. So I was trying to say that they also specialize in cider, which I think is a bit of a specialty there. And about 8 minute walk from Station Nick, this place.
Yeah, it didn't too far. We stopped off in a pub on the way back, the one that I'd wanted to go to. And in fact, in hindsight, reading up, Mike, I think it won pub of the season in Doncaster, a pub called the Little Plough, that is in the Camera Heritage book for it's one of the least changed interwar years pub in the north of England, I think. And I say very convenient. It's literally, that's sort of about 2 minutes walk from the station, isn't it?
And as if by magic, if you're on YouTube, I've just put up some rather nice pictures of the
Yes.
Little Plough, which have I can't quite get it there, but it's got a lovely tiled interior, hasn't it? Sorry, exterior, which
yeah, it's nice.
which also gives it away. But inside, as Nick says, it's very much unchanged, and they talk about stepping back into 1950s. Still got bell pushes behind in the lounge, so you could ring your beers in.
No, 1930s. Same
1930s.
Into war.
Quite an eclectic range of beers on.
Yeah.
Acorn, Ossett, Wensleydale. And again, and a Pheasantry I Love Ruby 4.7 Pale Ale. I ended up having the Wensleydale Demon, which was interesting. You'd like the toilets, Bruce, cracking little toilets, a little innie courtyard there, which you can see. And the toilets are kind of behind that bay window there, which is a bit weird. Again, a couple of pictures of old Doncaster. I'm just trying to find out what is it Gibson's on the front of it. I was trying to say Hewitt, sorry. Hewitt's Brewery.
Yeah.
That's right. And I did
No, I think it was Hewitt's and Gibson's from
Hewitt's,
Grimsby, was it?
Hewitt Brothers Brewery. That's what's in tiles outside the front
Or
of
was
the
it
pub.
not? But yeah, they actually tried to get. Yeah, they'd actually tried to get the toilets listed, but it didn't go through. But obviously, it used to be outdoors, and they've put a roof over the top of it. But yeah, I think they've always got Ossett and always got Acorn beers on, and then just alternate a couple of other guests.
Lively front bar, wasn't there? We decided we'd go for the lounge, which was quite a nice choice, really, because you can see it was quite nice. Front bar was quite busy, wasn't it? But much more stripped back front bar, locals bar on that front, on the street front there. And like Nick said, literally the station, which is hang on, I thought a picture station. It's just around the corner, which is a very nice station. So as you can see there, we really only dipped. I mean, we did the first two. We did the first two. Oh, you get a better picture there of the front of the Plough. We only did two of the Donny 12, so certainly a place I'd go back to. Fairly compact, isn't it? Station's in a good position. You've always got the draftsman to kind of start or end your drink. And again, there looks to be some really good pubs. So we did three, didn't we? Because the Hall Cross apparently used to do its own beer as well. There's Don Valley Brewery Tap as well. So there's a nice little mixture, really. That marketplace is supposed to be quite a good little place as well. So definitely worth us going back. Donny's on the.
We didn't come across any aggressive beggars either, Bruce.
No,
not an aggressive beggar in sight.
Yeah.
Very disappointed.
Yeah.
And I quite like the station. The station's got a bit of an Art Deco feel to it, hasn't it, as well? And it's quite a nice plaza in front. Which Bruce did tell us would be full of aggressive beggars, which maybe it was Sunday, Nick. Maybe they'd all gone to Google.
All been bed on us.
Yeah.
They were watching Google Vikings, or the races were on. So it was race day. So I don't know whether they all go up to the races. So yeah,
aggressive begging round the entrance to races.
I must admit, possibly it's a place I've inspired me to go. Really, because obviously it's only 20 minutes on train from us here in York, and it's a place I never go to, really, Doncaster. But seeing that rail trail, it's definitely well visited, isn't it?
Do you remember we went to Doncaster many years ago? The reason why we went that time was it's supposed to be the highest bar in the country.
Yeah.
And was it called the White Sweat? Because as you walked in at normal level, at the back of that first room, the main service bar was actually upstairs, but they had it was like a pillbox, wasn't it? So literally, you're You're like bloody Chad, Mr. Chad. Your head was here, and they were serving you beer and passing it down like that.
It was a Vaux pub in
for whatever reason, because
it was a Vaux pub, yeah. And the Mason's
was
the famous ale pub in those days, yeah.
Was it the White Swan though? Whereas they had this bloody bar up there, like it's probably closed now.
I remember that, yeah.
It's not mentioned in the 12, is it? But yeah. Anyway. So definitely worth a visit. As I say, it's on the East Coast Main Line, so it's fairly easy to get to. But they quite have a lot of other trains service it as well. So I'm guessing it's quite cheap to get to Doncaster because you've got that many different train companies, Hull Trains, LNER, Northern. So that tends to make stuff cheaper, doesn't it? So all good, definitely worth a trip. So definitely a good Sunday out, Nick. I think Sunday we were back and tucked up in bed for about 7:30. So we didn't have. Oh no, we didn't because we went to Stamford Bridge, didn't we, on the way back for something to eat. But a pleasant day out, really. Probably don't know. We get to about the 7 pint mark, something like that. It felt fairly steady, didn't it? We weren't really caning it.
Yeah,
you just find going to place on a Sunday. The pubs on a Sunday always seem to lack a little bit of energy. It's almost the Monday's casting its shadow. I'm not a great one for drinking on a Sunday. The pubs just always seem to lack a bit of something, really.
But I don't think that's a bad thing, Bruce, because often the real ale pubs have been hijacked now by the stag and endos and the pissheads. Even in Malton this Saturday, I mentioned the groups before that I'd mentioned, but they'd all, in my opinion, there was at least one or two members of their group had too much, and they were very loud and very leery. And these aren't idiot people as such, but they're just people, you could say they're having a good time. But when you're pretty sober and you're having to listen to inane banter and people thinking they're cock of the north and Billy Big Bollocks and aren't brilliant, it just gets a bit wearing. Leave that for the Royal Oak in the marketplace. But when you're in your local real ale, craft ale place, you don't want to wear it really, because these places are so small that you get to share the conversation, even you don't want to share their conversation.
Yeah, I think
it is. I think Monday's the new Sunday. I mean, dreadful is Monday. It's the new Sunday, isn't it?
I think the thing, I mean, again, sitting around does, because a lot of the pubs are shut or closed, you're getting more of those kind of groups going into some of those real ale micro bars. I've been out a couple of times when like you say, Nick, it just, they all come in en masse. In a good way, they might try different beers, but then they're drinking like 8% ciders, or they're all trying the mad 12% stout, and you just really, guys, just take it. This is not your bloody mad free.
I mean, they're not necessarily aggressive, but they make noise and they're ignorant. To be honest with you, and
Well, so last time I was in the waiting room,
me just turning a miserable old get like, I don't know. But...
No, but like you say, because often, like I was saying, when I was in waiting room in Whitby, we talked about that, didn't we? And there's no music on, so there's not enough people to dampen down individual discussions. So if two of them are being knobheads, you all listen to them being knobheads, and you can't really help it. So it is a bit of a challenge there as well.
Yeah.
So okay, so that was a trip. That was a trip that nearly came off, and the three of us did spend at least an hour in a bar together. So we are hopefully maybe getting something sorted for Easter, because I'll be up in Yorkshire over Easter, so we've got a couple of weeks for that though still. It's getting pub garden time, I think, almost in it now. It's almost getting to that time. Well, Nick sits outside the Petersfield Square all year anyway. But it felt like this weekend it was just
put the tables and chairs back outside.
Yeah.
And went to took mother to Ripon for Mother's Day, of course. So took her to the Spoons, and there was people sat outside the Unicorn looking over Ripon Marketplace. There it was quite sociable. Yeah, quite nice.
We're all sat outside Unicorn on Thursday. I was there, but they're all eating the food from Greg's.
So it just feels like that summer's on its way though. Right, good stuff. So I don't know what episode 68 will be made up of, because we haven't gone that far yet. I think we might have to do it. Bruce can give us a whirlwind tour of the railways and bars and eateries. I'm trying to think, Bruce, if you've eaten anything recently that was slightly obscure. You've been to a couple of places, haven't you? You've done some London breakfast.
I had those. I'll tell you next time. But there was, Nick thought the pasty was bad the first time I went to Bolton. I had to go back to Bolton again, and I went to Fame, it was even worse. when I was in Rochdale, but avoided the rag pudding. So yeah, I have some exciting pies to tell about next time.
Very good. So
flashing me bottle of landlord there, because for some reason, what used to be Costco's up Front Street, whatever it's called now, they were selling all the bottle beers off half price.
Oh.
So I could have as many bottles of Timothy Taylor's Landlord or Atlantic, Sharp's Atlantic Pale, or two or three others, about £1.67. I thought, are they out of date? I says, why are you selling all your ales off? He says, they've just decided that shelf could be used for better stock, like. So I went, right, okay. So yeah, I wouldn't normally buy it because it's the same price in the supermarkets as it is on the bars most places. It seems to be a lot more expensive than most of the beers, but £1.76 for a bottle of Timmy Taylor's. It's all right.
That's all right, isn't it? Because they're £3 for £6 now in the supermarkets, aren't they? I think the Taylor's, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very good. Right, gents, we will.
Well, half price, that means you're normally paying £3.40.
We'll play the funky music and we'll go off into the ether and we'll maybe have 10 minutes trying to plot what we're going to do next. And we'll see everybody, whether you're in the United States, in Switzerland, in Germany, in Russia, in the Far East. Keep listening. Please send us reviews. Remember, you can catch us on YouTube
That's for Danya.
on the podcast. So let me play some music.